Hi, my name is Mystic Nebula, and if you're here, then that means Spirit has a divine channeled message for you today. The first part of the channel that I received was whenever I was going to get my morning coffee, and I was sipping on some hot chocolate, and I was just sitting there, and it reminded me of this time. Okay, so there was a time where I was not trying to better myself. There was a time where I was stuck in the old version of me. And all I could hear in my head is, you are what you eat. And I'm not saying this in a consumption way, because, girl, I am a thick baddie. I'm not talking about like your food intake, okay? So don't take this the wrong way. Just give me a moment. I'm talking about how you are what you feed your soul. Now, there were times where all I did was listen to music, right? But instead of listening to uplifting, positive songs, I was listening to very depressing music, okay? And I mean, like, not all of it was depressing, but a good, like, majority of it was. And all I can think about is how I was constantly playing on loop all of the things that I listened to as a teenager because that's what felt safe. But not to mention the fact comfortability is not safety. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't normally share this playlist and show people, but like, I'd love to know where it is on my thing though. I'm trying to find it so that I could show you for an example of like the stuff that I would listen to. Here it is. We're not gonna like show you the playlist name because the playlist name is kind of depressing. But like, okay, you guys probably can't see that. Stuff like Numb, Linkin Park, Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz, Stan, featuring Ditto by Eminem, Car Radio, 21 Pilots, Face Down, The Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, Drown, Bring Me the Horizon, Creep by Radiohead. Like, I could go on and on and on, okay? But like, I listened to some depressing stuff. Some very depressing stuff. And I remember that consumption was so much different than the way I consume things now. Now I have a playlist okay, now I have to kind of tell you what the playlist name is because like the difference. So I'm going to just like show it on screen so that I don't have to say it and then I don't try to get like thrown off. And I need you to understand that this was something that I made whenever I was a saddie baddie, okay? So like, yeah, enough said. If I could find my playlist again. That's how much I don't listen to it anymore. That's beautiful, actually. I'm really proud of that. Here it is. Depressed. Sad. But you know what? I'm not there anymore. 333. I changed what it is that I listen to. I changed what it is that, like, I have a whole playlist right now, and I haven't like shared this yet. Like, a lot of my playlists are public 345 on my YouTube channel. But the reason that this one isn't is because, like, I don't know, I've kind of been like enjoying listening to it myself. And I call it Her Vibe is Pretty. And it's songs that literally help me feel good, like Self Love by Shannon Blake, or Masterpiece by Abel Hart, I Am Woman by Emmy Melly. I love this stuff. Vibe With Me, Joy Plus Soul, featuring Evie Stacks. Do It Anyways, Erica Mason, like Sunflower Soul by Lindrell. I have so much of a better experience listening to things. And that's not even just my music anymore. Like, whenever I go 432, whenever I go 435, whenever I go online and I start looking up things, like, I choose to not look at things that are going to make me sad or make me feel low. 444. Because at this point, I am what I consume. And if I continuously consume depressing stuff, 456, sadness, fear, doubt, anxiety, anger, things that remind me, 505, of those emotions, it is going to pull me right back down to where I was, or back down to my most recent version of myself. Or you see what I'm saying? Like, you've got to expand the way that you consume media, expand the way you consume life, okay? When you are growing, you should not be listening to the same things or watching the same things. 532 and 534. You should not. And the only reason I'm saying this is because it's feeding a part of you that wants to stay when you need to release the parts of you that no longer are meant to be there. 555. Yeah. So ground yourself and understand that it is okay and you're allowed to move on. Like, you are allowed to move from these things that no longer serve you. I understand that, like, I'm never going to outgrow my emo phase, okay? I'm just not. Clearly. However, I do need to say this. Sometimes the music you listen to, the things you consume, have such a big effect on your life that they keep pulling you backwards into paradigms you were trying to outgrow. So you have to actively seek media that help confirm your new life, your new timeline. 646, 648. I know that sounds, but like, if I still constantly was listening to the stuff that I listen to in active depression, do you think that I'd be where I'm at? I'm gonna be honest. Like, there are certain things that, like, if I still listen to it, I would not be where I need to be. Okay? Okay. There's a community of us that struggle with dissociation. And those same people that struggle with dissociation usually have a dissociation song, right? I can tell you mine, but I'm going to sing it for you because it came up and I think it's important. So give me 2 seconds to get to where I need to be. Joji, if you see this, please don't hate me. Live in a constant state of fear and misery. Do you miss me anymore? I don't even notice when it hurts anymore. Okay, so if you don't know what song that is, yeah, Fried Noodles by Pink Guy. And yes, I said Joji. If you don't know Joji's background, don't even sit there and come for me right now, okay? Okay, because I know Joji from whenever he was Filthy Frank and Pink Guy. Enough said. Anyways, that resonated for someone. And I want you to know that you deserve so much more. You deserve so much more than you let yourself understand. Another song that used to really keep me in the loop, and I used to think that it was so helpful, was a song called Full Circle by Movements, which are one of my favorite bands still. Like, I still love them. But the ending is so important. The end is so important. Because I've had days that I swore would be my last and spent months broken on this broken glass just to tiptoe towards the thought that maybe someday I get back to who I used to be, for what I used to see in the mirror, instead of this misery, and to rid myself of this cloud that rained down and caused me to slip back into my apathy. But I know eventually I'm gonna come around, and maybe it won't be easy, but it will be worth it, and it'll also be profound, because instead of feeling cornered, the corners of my mouth will start to point up instead of being anchored down. That is the end of the song. And it hits so hard every time I hear it still, because I remember wanting to be a version of myself that I am no longer. Like, at that time, I was not willing to accept the fact that, like, I grew. Even though I wasn't where I wanted to be, I was better than where I was. And I feel like the part of me that always wanted to revert back to the simplicity. But you have to get through the pain to get back to the simplicity, okay? That resonates for someone. I know that resonates for someone. That song, and I'm just going to sing a moment of it. Yeah, I'm fine. If F is for feeling overwhelmed, and I is for I'm not alright. Yeah, I'm fine. That is for not being able to sleep for every night. Yeah, I'm fine. Ugh. There are so many things that remind me of where I was, but those songs remind me of how deep it was. How truly deep it was. I mean, I could send you songs that I tried to. I mean, one in specific, beautiful Christina Aguilera. Second in specific, Stan by Eminem. Yeah. There has been many moments where I didn't want to be here. But if you sit there and continue to live in those frequencies, you're going to embody them. You're going to attract more of it. And you deserve so much more than you believe you do. 1234. You believe so much more. 1, 2, 3, 4. You deserve so much more. Okay? Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. If you want something that's going to be uplifting, I'm going to actually go through and just change the privacy on Her Vibe is Pretty right now, because I know somebody out there needs to hear it. I know somebody out there needs to know. Wow, this has been private the whole time, and I've listened to it 1.7K times. Yeah, you can tell this is my main. But I'm going to take it off of private because somebody out there needs to hear it. Somebody out there needs to know it. And yeah, you can go to my YouTube for any of the playlists I have. I even have a playlist called It's All the Rage. This is a playlist that I made whenever I was really upset and I wanted to go to the gym and like work out and push real hard, okay? 1342 when I looked up. But I feel like this is more to do with the fact that like I wanted to sink into the pain again for a little bit. Yeah. There's been a lot of moments I've been in pain. And music has helped me cope through that a lot. And that probably resonates for you as well. But I need you to understand that you deserve to heal. You deserve to grow. 1423. A lot of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. You're taking steps, baby. You are taking the steps. But you need to keep working your way towards it. And, you know, I remember how hard it was then. And it's just like, it's giving me a migraine right now, like right here. I remember how hard it was whenever all I wanted to do was to sink into the music. It helped me forget my life, but I feel like it kept me in that life. Because when I was listening to that playlist, like, I was actively depressed. Whenever I'd put that playlist on, I'd be actively depressed for a bit. 1515. I used to listen to that playlist blaring while I sat on the bottom of my shower and cried because that was the only release I had at the time. But I didn't learn from those things. I didn't learn from them until I started listening to music. And there was a lovely human that I had met, and I love her to death. I do. So, JoJo, if you're seeing this, I love you. We don't talk consistently, 1551, but she introduced me to some beautiful music. And the music was so calming and relaxing, and it felt so good. And I had never really been huge into reggae up until that point, especially like newer reggae. Like, yeah, Bob Marley's great, right? Like, but I wasn't really big into reggae at the time. And I have a playlist called Reggae for the New Age Hippie on my profile. And like the music that they showed me from Tropodelic and Dirty Heads and Bumpin' Uglies, like I was so happy because I started to learn things from that music versus just wallowing in my music. Yeah. Yeah. I remember one night we stayed up really late and they explained to me like their love for the music, and I was introduced to so many things. Revolution, NACO, and medicine for the people. Like I was introduced to so much music that helped me to expand and grow. And so like JoJo, if you're seeing this at any point, just understand you were a huge catalyst, 1727, in helping me to grow and expand in my consciousness, 1738. And I'm so grateful for that. I am. I am so grateful for the multiple moments. And 2020 might be a very significant year for you as well. But I need you to remember, if you continue to listen and watch and hear and do the same things, you will not change. You need to step outside of your comfort zone. I love you. 1808, please know that you are important. You matter. And you deserve so much better than you give yourself credit for. 1818. Oh, I thought I was going to burp and I didn't. Yeah. You deserve so much more than you allow to give yourself credit for. That's all I have for you. If you have gotten to the end of this message, please in the comments below, just put I received this message. And yeah, I'll see you in the next message. And I want you to know I love you so, 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 so much. I'm praying for this collective always. And if you ever need somebody to reach out to, please feel free to reach out to me. My email, DMs, whatever, are always open. And I just want you to know that you matter. I love you.